I know that if I leave you today, I'll find others.
True.
So this your
Would I
trash,
call that
I
one
can't put up with
education?
it.
Mm.
I can't put up with this your trash because I am very aware that there are 1,001 others and 99 waiting. So
Is that one
when you
education?
I find
Is
that
that
hard
is
to
that one
swallow. I
being
just cannot
educated or
swallow that
smart
one.
or what?
I can't swallow that one.
All right, viewers, welcome back to Talk Your Mind podcast show. We are here again for another episode, and this episode will shock you. Honestly, this episode will shock you because what we are diving into, in fact, is a general thing that people are still looking into it. Now we are asking, why is it that the more educated people become, the more divorce you see? Is it that education is affecting marriage? Now I want to ask my guest, Mr. Ebenezer. Thank you very much. Thank you. You're welcome.
thank you,
Welcome to
Mr.
the show.
Morris.
And Miss MJ,
Thank you for
as
having
is a
me.
single lady and a married man, they are here to discuss a lot. It's a very crucial topic. Sir, now let me ask, why is it that why do educated male and female tolerate less in marriage? Why does it make it?
They
Come
say
on.
ladies first. So
No,
let's
no,
do
me
ladies
first.
first.
No, me. Let me ask the
No,
married first.
let me give the lady first.
No, no. First of all, let me ask the married man.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So what did you say is the question?
Okay, why do educated women and men involved in this divorce? Or divorce rather? Correct me.
Okay. I think I'll just first talk about the relationship dynamics among people.
Okay.
Education makes relationship, or rather relationship among educated people are more complex as
Mhm.
against people who are not educated. And that's principally because of three things, the way I like to categorize it. The first is awareness. Educated people are very aware. They have knowledge of alternatives, they have knowledge of options.
I think
And then
these are the challenges now. Over educated. Continue.
then educated people too, they do lots of interpretation. You can do one thing and then they would interpret it in many ways. And then the third thing I like to add is that educated people have high expectation. So now, when you put the three together, because they are aware of options and a lot of other things, then the next part, which is the interpretation, they interpret everything you do, your body language, what you said, inferred meaning, and stuff like that. And now they have very high expectation. Let me use a very simple example. You tell the man or the lady, I'll be with you in 1 hour. This person knows the route, and ideally, in 1 hour, you should be in the said location. But now it's 1 hour, you are not there. They switch to the next part. They begin to interpret the situation. From that interpretation, they move to the last part, the expectation. What is it? If you had a problem, you should have called me, or you should have sent a message. You should have found a way to just let me know something is holding you back, or before long, instead of you guys focusing on what you came for or what you had planned to do, now you are stuck trying to first explain the delay in that first 1 hour. So that's awareness, deep interpretation, and expectation. It makes the
So,
relationship more complex.
meaning now it's true that educated people affect this divorce of a thing.
Eh, I just
What's your view
explained
about this? Is it true
something.
or false? Because with his own explanation now, it's as if it does. So what's your
Okay.
expectation, really?
He said a lot, and from what he has said, you can see that educated people almost have, or they have answers to everything, to almost everything, because of how exposed and how aware they are. You can say that. But from your question, if education is a reason for divorce, I will say no.
Ah,
It
really?
can't be. No,
No. That
education
you
cannot
are
be.
forced now He's on the
He
true
has
side.
he hasn't said anything. He just talked about educated
Okay,
people.
true, of course.
Yes.
So that we know now.
He just talked about
Okay, let me
education
ask
and
you
those
this
that
one.
are
Does financial
educated.
independence increase divorce of 18?
Absolutely.
It does.
Yes.
How about you? When it comes to finance
Mm.
in the home,
Can finance actually bring like result to divorce?
are you sure major divorces you are seeing right now is it not about finance or money? Even the relationship of a tea self. If money is not involved, I don't think they said if you don't have money, your relationship will not sweet. Is it true? Not to talk of when you are married.
Yeah, love is sweet, but when money enter, it's sweeter. That one is very correct.
So meaning you are telling me that it's true
That finance,
that financial independence can cause divorce.
I would say it depends on both parties. That's the only thing I'll say. Because there is a way you guys can go about your financial status and you can strike.
Most especially when the woman is having more money than the man.
That's why I said they have to understand themselves. If they lack understanding, it's never going to work.
So what do you think about that?
An understanding which she just said is, see, I have this theory and I say knowledge is power.
True.
Knowledge is power, but liquidity is king. And liquidity is cash. There's no amount of
So money must be involved.
knowing that you say you know. If you don't have money, it's money that changed one vote to veto power.
True.
Okay, back to you. Let's go down to an uneducated people. Are they more patient when it comes to marriage that will not lead to divorce?
Yes, they are more patient.
When they are not educated.
Yes. I'll use this analogy. Again, tying it back to first what I said, that educated people are aware. Now, uneducated people are not aware. Now, let's go back. You are in a village, and then the only bus that comes to that village comes once a week. You would plan everything around that once a week
True.
because there is no knowledge of other options.
Mm-hmm.
But when you know that there are other options, and then that once a week is delaying, you turn it off and go your way.
Divorce.
You get the gist. Now, when you bring it to this um, marriage setting,
Yeah.
I know that if I leave you today, I'll find others.
True.
So this your trash,
Would I call that
I
one
can't put up
education?
with it.
Mm.
I can't put up with this your trash because I am very aware that there are 1,001 others and 99 waiting.
Is that
So
one
when you-
education?
I find that
Is that
hard
one
to
of
swallow. I
being
just cannot
educated
swallow
or
that
smart or
one.
what?
I can't swallow that one.
So
It's
say
alright.
something about
because
that.
just because I'm in the village does not mean that I don't see what's going on. It's not
Okay.
like I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
Even the village people, sef, they even have this they're kind of smart in a way.
Wow.
Though
That's
not all
where
of them.
exposure comes in.
Yes, some of them are
See?
very smart. Some of them will not take nonsense. You can actually treat a woman badly in the village and she will tell you that she's going back to her father's house. She does not necessarily need to have a divorce.
But you
Yes.
know what an educated person calls nonsense and what an uneducated person calls nonsense
Thank
are
you very
different.
much. Very, very different.
So, which is where that awareness comes back to the conversation. Because look at it. This woman is aware of options as much as this man is. So it now impacts on what he tolerates or what she tolerates because of that knowledge. So what you would just pass as nonsense, the other person wouldn't. For example, let's say you need to get a job done and then you meet a competent person. Because you understand what competence looks like, you will know when this person is showing incompetence,
True.
delaying you. That patience that you do not have to deal with this level of incompetence, the uneducated person has it.
Oh.
So for them, the same time that it took this individual to achieve this result that you term incompetence, that other person who is not educated, who doesn't have those options, those alternatives bearing at them just like this, will just say, oh, just wait now. You get the gist now. So the ease of getting triggered by incompetence among educated or uneducated people are not. And that itself would now reflect on how patience and impatience would show up.
Okay, let me
True.
redirect these questions to you now. Are educated women, are they hard to keep? Women that are educated, are they hard to keep?
No, you are not.
Why do you feel so?
You are not. I would like to use this lady, Jokesiba. That woman is educated. Like when I meet someone is educated, she's way, way, way educated. And there are so many women out there that are very, very educated and they are still in their marriages. So it still boils down to how these people carry whatever it is they're in, the marriage life they are in, the person they are married to, how they value the relationship that they have.
She's a
It boils down
celebrity,
to
right?
a very big celebrity.
I don't know how long her marriage is now, but other people, other celebrities that are rampant about divorce issue now.
Not all of them, majority of them, yes, but some of them.
But the major celebrities we hear, most of them are divorced.
Like,
I can't call name now.
why?
But they know their sex. Then you must have heard about them. Then 15 years of marriage, 20 years of marriage, all of a
Okay.
sudden.
If
What would be that cause?
yes, thank you. You
Are
just
those
said
ladies, are they
it.
not educated?
You just said it now. What's the cause of this divorce? What's happening?
Yeah.
Why is it that divorce is everywhere? What's actually going on? We talked about impatience. We talked about finance. Are those really the issues? What's really going on that divorce is everywhere? What if someone wants to
maybe
divorce?
because some of these women they now have options.
Options of what, please?
Maybe property. Or they've met another rich man or so.
Please, sir, point
Or
me.
that to the men. Maybe there's another option outside.
Point me to that lady, that celebrity lady that has divorced
Apart
and she
from
remarried.
celebrity.
Please point me to that. Just show her
No,
to me.
I don't know. I don't.
Or
have
the
to call
male
them
that
celebrity.
divorced and is remarried. Let's know, please, because I don't see them getting married again. I don't see them. Like you just said, property. That can, like, it can actually be a very big reason for them to divorce. Maybe they just
They
want
don't
to have.
consider their children.
Ah.
I could imagine a marriage of about 20 years, 15 years. All of a sudden, you hear they are signing a divorce paper without considering the children, how they will feel in the future. So, what do you think about that?
Okay. Before I answer, considering the children, and she was talking about keeping
Educated women.
Yeah, educated women.
See, people really they underestimate education,
True.
and there are two things I would say on education now. First, there is the exposure, knowledge, and then there is the certification, going to school,
Yeah.
4 walls of tertiary institution. Those two things are different. You get the gist now. But people often consider just that tertiary education as the whole
As
thing.
the
So when
whole
we talk
thing,
about being
yeah.
educated, that's what they are focused on. It's deeper than that. But interestingly, people who have those paper certification, sadly, they tie their worth and essence around it.
Exactly.
And so it becomes a problem on its own. For example, she's got a PhD and you have an SSc or a BSc. Somehow she believes there's a disparity.
True.
You get, and that begins to creep in on what you guys have or what it's going to be. But there's this other one. You mentioned somebody. I believe the education she has outside the 4 walls of the tertiary institution is stronger than what she has as paper certification, which in living life, particularly in a union, that is stronger than your paper certification, because your PhD thesis or whatever you have is not what you're going to be discussing in your house.
Yeah, true.
So it is that human relation that people really need to be educated towards. But when people tie their essence and worth to paper certification, it begins to clash. It begins to, because so you want me to subject myself and all I have achieved to this, forgetting that that is one part of your life.
True.
This other one that has to do with relating with this person is another part. So exposure again and education is sadly part of how people also get entangled, because education is education. There is right or wrong education, and then there's also the application of education.
True.
So the fact that you know these things are there, how do you then apply it? That becomes yet another thing. So that they are harder to keep or not harder to keep, it depends on the education that they have and how they apply it. And then talking about the children, many believe those children will find their way.
Just imagine.
They believe
Some
they will find
persons
their
use
way.
those children as an advantage too.
You get the gist. So it's deeper than that, and I think the earlier we consider those conversations, and then the relationship, the peculiarity of the relationship, because we can't paint everybody by the same stroke of brush.
That's another thing. So I wanted to ask
Different
you, as a
stroke
lady,
for
I know you're
different-
not married, or I don't know. Let me know. Sorry to say.
No problem. It's so I don't
Based on
understand.
your experience, okay. Based on your experience, how educated man do they have egos? Are they egoistic when it comes to marriage?
Men naturally have ego.
Not.
No, you
Sir.
won't say that.
Sir, say something.
What will I say?
He knows that's the truth.
Oh,
Men naturally has ego, and it's
it might also lead to this issue of divorce.
no. I will say no, because there is a way a man's ego is hot. Men are not, until that thing gets to the point, because there's this adage that you get to push a goat to the wall until he has nowhere to run to, then he has to turn back at you. That's where I feel men comes in and say, I'm done, I can't do this anymore, I'm tired, because
Is that
of
an ego?
what. No, I'm not saying ego. That's what I'm saying. There is a point where you hurt the man's ego, then he speaks up for himself. Some men are patient, some of them are tolerant, like they take it, but it gets to a point. We know ourselves as women. We can talk. Our talk can even push you to that point where you say, I'm done, I don't want it again. Yes, that's what we are. But ego, naturally, men has it.
Okay.
So, yes.
Back to you. I just wanted to ask this simple question: is education, maybe according to what you explained now, is education, does it increase standard or pride?
Standard and pride.
Yes.
It increases both. It increases both. Again, because we try to tie our worth and identity to it.
Yeah.
It is part of why. I mean, you could be on the road, and then something happens between this BSc or master's degree holder and the commercial bus driver. The next thing is, do you know who I am? And all of those things. That has its own place, that pride. And then the standard of it is this. See, when you're an educated person, it will take a level of interpersonal skill and human relation that you have attained for you to be able to relate with people who are not on the same wavelength with you. There are certain intellectual conversations you want to have,
that's true,
but you can't have it. Now that you know, it has just elevated you. That intellectual discourse is where you are. For you to now calm down, because the truth is, a knowledgeable person can't pretend to be ignorant.
Sure.
It is very hard. So what you will find at best is their knowledge teaches them to let go of this. Not because they are ignorant, but they learn to treat it better. Because they know. For example, because they know that's how women are. They may not respond that way. Because she understands that's how men are. She would not respond a certain way. Now that's when you begin to apply your education.
And again, I wanted to ask something. We're asking something if divorce is a sign of growth and failure. Is let's expatiate on that so that we'll go on.
It depends on the individual. For some people, it's an avenue for them to grow. For some, it's failure. I really would not like to dissect those individual experience just use a blanket statement to just try to. It depends on the individual. For some people, they say it's a sign of progress. For some, it's failure. So
How
it
about you?
depends on the individual.
What's your opinion?
I agree with him.
Why would you
Yeah.
agree with him?
He already said it all that it's complex. For some persons, it's a sign of
I know you
growth.
are not married. Let me quickly ask you, why do you feel marriage fade? Let me just ask you, what's your opinion on that
Are you sure I have the answer to that
you
question?
should
Seeing that I'm
now?
single, I'm not married,
It
because
doesn't matter, but
I,
you've
for
heard
one,
one or two now.
so what will I have to say
Say
concerning
something
this
though.
now?
The viewers want to hear from your singlehood perspective.
Okay, I think I'm standing in for the singles, and I really do not know why. That's what I will have to say. I don't know why.
You have to now. You must have come across some of your friends
Okay.
that are married and later their marriage got fade.
No, they're happily married and
Are you
they're
serious?
doing well with
Oh,
their
yeah. Let me
children.
go over to you, sir. What do you think? You're a
Yeah.
married man. I think you can answer that.
Interestingly, I can only answer for myself. I can't answer on behalf of anybody. Okay. Whatever I think is what I think. It won't be the answer to what it is.
Yeah.
Because every marriage and every experience is different.
Mhm.
So people have their reason for going their separate way. They're in the best position to tell you, really.
Exactly.
But what we have seen by observing and interacting is that there is this word, they say irreconcilable differences.
Mm.
And I like to phrase it as something you can't forgive.
True.
You get this now. Irreconcilable difference is basically something you cannot forgive. Because when you look at it, this thing that you say you cannot forgive, others are saying, if this was my problem, I don't have a problem.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. That's
They are
another
like,
thing. Yeah.
if this is all I had to deal with, I don't have a problem. Irreconcilable difference is largely what you can't forgive.
So,
And don't get it twisted. I'm not saying you have to die because you want to be there. So are you saying now that when they want to kill me,
I should still
I am not the
remain.
one to tell you, but I'm just saying that generally what you can't forgive
Yeah.
is the irreconcilable difference.
okay, can you guys just give me some little examples of what really makes, apart from being educated, what are those little things that makes marriage or that causes divorce? Just a little examples you feel.
Seriously.
Yeah,
You have
just-
heard now, talk.
Just what do you
Okay,
feel?
for me,
Yeah,
so far so good. Like, I've been privileged to attend seminars.
good.
Okay, with marriage seminars, and one thing I've come to understand is that anyone that wants to get married should be ready to compromise and be ready to sacrifice.
Mhm.
That is it.
So, how about you?
Yes, she's right. And that even the education we are talking about, when you understand marriage is an institution,
Mm-hmm.
that institution, there is how it runs, there is how the institution is structured. But the interesting thing is that
Is sorry to cut you. This institution, is it written or the one inside the Bible or the one the other religions they practice?
it's a combination of all. Because even if you want to go outside the Bible, let's say you want to discuss the African context,
Yeah.
there are ways your parents will tell you that married woman not they behave like this,
Mm-hmm.
married man not they behave like
True.
this. It's an institution. So
You
it's
learn.
not necessarily to say that there's a four-wall, a standard body regulating it. Because,
Mhm.
take for example,
Then most
if
of our parents were not educated at that time.
they were not, as we will call it, formal education,
Like,
but they had education.
True.
What is education? An open mind.
Mm-hmm.
What is education? The willingness to learn and unlearn.
Mm-hmm.
What is education? The ability to adapt new reality, new
Yeah.
information, and say, okay, this one didn't work. Let's do it
Let's
this
do
way.
this one.
See, marriage is an institution. To get married, for example, you want to approach the court. A man and a woman approach the court, they get married, and maybe just two other witnesses.
Mm.
But to get divorced from that same court, it will take a long time.
True.
The court begin to now give you guidelines, as it were. They could tell you, go for separation for 1 year or 6 months, go for counseling, go for therapy. The institution begins to now regulate how you work out. Meanwhile, this was an institution that you two just walked into.
Mm-hmm.
But now that you need to leave, you can't just up and leave. And until all the process is done, you can't get attached to another.
I
But
get
so,
you.
sorry, sir. Sorry, I'm calling.
Yeah.
Some persons do that.
The people who get attached to others probably didn't approach the court to get married. If they did, the partner can actually use it against them.
Oh, so are you telling me now that the court marriage most times leads to this signing of divorce?
How do you mean?
Like when you want to get married now, you say you must go for a court marriage,
Mm-hmm.
or someone say they don't want to do this court marriage of a thing.
If you get married in the court, which is registry,
Registry,
or
yeah.
civil wedding, if that is what you do or what
You did.
what they did,
Yeah.
if for any reason they also want to go their separate ways, they will go back to say,
Yes.
my lord, that thing you joined, come and
Yes.
put asunder now.
Come
Come
and
and put
dissolve
asunder.
it.
Come and do it.
Wow.
So they are the ones to still give that
Exactly.
dissolution.
True.
Education. And let's go back to this social media of a thing. This, you know, this is our modern age now. Our shouldn't it be our generation or this recent generation now?
Okay.
I know social
The
media
Gen
has
Z.
caused not only Gen Z, even this alpha. I know most of them are not started getting married, but I believe most of them are entering into marriage without being prepared or having that matured mind. Maybe because of things they see they see in social media and all that. I feel. What do you think about the influence of social media on a divorce issue?
Oh, so
What a deep breath.
See,
What an influence from the social media.
first, very different on a lot of things, because I think for myself, I lead my own life.
Yeah, for
I
yourself.
run by my own thoughts many times, but I would also not say I'm ignorant of things happening around and stuff
Yeah.
like that. See, I like to say that society is a summary of the voices you choose to listen to.
Yeah.
So even on that social media you want to talk about, the news you get is different from the ones I get.
true.
My interest is what shapes it. So if people are saying that social media is behind divorce and the things they are doing, what part of the media are they interacting? Because there are also different media within the same social media
Yeah.
where the love, the flourishing, and the thriving marriages
Mm.
and relationships are being shown. So how is it that you say social media is responsible for the failures, but somehow you didn't see those succeeding?
Yeah.
You say you were influenced to fail
Mm.
because others
Just
were
imagine,
failing,
because
but they
others were
couldn't
failing.
influence you to win. Didn't you see others
Where
winning?
others are winning too.
Yeah.
Didn't you see those winning? You gravitate towards the failure. So it has to do with you.
Thank you so much, viewers. This is a very, very, very broad episode, a very broad topic for us. So we'll need your contribution. Do you think educated people are more in divorce or divorce issue? And tell us why. Please, we want to hear your view. And we'll say thank you very much for always being on us, for always being on our episode on our channel. Please stay tuned for this one. Now, thank you so much, my lady. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
coming.
having
And
me.
Mr. Ebenezer, I really appreciate you. And viewers, do not forget to subscribe, share, and allow others to watch. It's a very, very interesting topic. Thank you.